Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Gilbert Ann. And today, I'm going to be reviewing another old film. It's going to be a Western film because why not? It's the one from like way back when. I mean, it goes really far back. It's a pre-coded Western film and it's titled To the Last Man. So, I figured I would just review some of these movies because I usually review old movies anyway. But I just felt like I should review it because I like reviewing old films that hardly anyone talk about. Yes, it's cheaply made, of course. Yes, it's pretty fairly obscured, and yeah, it's old. And the film was reissued under the title of Law of Vengeance. Little fun fact for you, I guess. So anyway, as always, I do have the top of the plot, so let's just get into it, shall we? So here we go. So the thing is that the central conflict of this film is there's this feud between these two families that starts in the hills of this place and pretty much continues in the West after the American Civil War. Also involved is the conflict between, I guess you would say, the way how the law should be handled and how it should be involved in this environment. And there's also these lowers from the two feuding families. So yeah, oh boy, let's just say things become rather interesting as a result of this. So yeah, let's just say that I'll leave it at that because it gets pretty damn wild as it continues. Well, gotta make the plot interesting in some sort of fashion because you do have to grasp the viewer. The come to think of it, I don't. The movie itself is barely over an hour, so it does get pretty much straight to the point, folks, which is fine by me. You don't want to bore the audience. Yeah, so you have times that you could say certain films work better shorter. But anyway, like I was going to say a moment ago, is that the story itself is pretty straightforward, which doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, of course. So yeah, the feud does lead a character being sent to prison for about 15 years for murder. The they head for Nevalem, and when he gets out of prison, let's just say he does head there to this certain area, also seeking revenge. Understandably so, I guess you can say. The head of this certain family tries to avoid more killing, but let's just say there's this inevitable showdown that does occur, of course. So things are pretty much complicated. Well, I should say become rather complicated as things continue. So yeah, there's a bit of a conflict going on here, which is totally fine, obviously. So I guess you can say that this film does attempt to have some sort of romance thrown in here, folks. But just so you know, the transfer of this film that I watched it from is pretty horrible. The film itself is fine, but the transfer, the picture quality isn't very good, really. Yeah, and just so you know, folks, this is not the most action-packed film you can find. Yeah, the movie itself has a fairly slow pace at first, I guess, which is fine. It didn't remind me, and in some ways, it's a bit of an oddity in some ways. But yeah, but anyway, folks, I can say that yeah, about a good 30 minutes in this western, this film really starts to get really good and really crazy, I guess. So this film does have its moments overall, and it does get pretty crazy in its own little way, which of course doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, really. It's because there's a certain charm to these old movies. And yeah, this is definitely a film from like way back when. I did like the actors, whom did really well, and even the actresses really did pretty well, folks. So I guess in some ways they were trying to have a mixture with the story of returning Civil War veterans and kind of like hill country family feuds and altogether Western action and trying to tie all this together, and it does so in a pretty good way. The film itself, as I was saying a moment ago, is a little over an hour, but it does pack a lot of action and a pretty good story overall, and that's definitely a plus in my book. Yeah, now this one I would highly recommend for any Western fan if you have not seen this one as of yet, because this one was really good. I did enjoy this one quite a bit, even though I'm not really a huge fan of Western films, but it manages to entertain me nonetheless. The writing was pretty good, and I can say the way it was delivered was nice. So overall, a really nice movie to watch. I wouldn't mind watching it again, folks. And it was on my to-do list. So this was definitely one of those films I've been meaning to review for quite some time. So I just thought I'd take the opportunity to do so, folks. Why not? Let's review another old movie. Because on my YouTube channel, usually usually like reviewing old movies anyway. Stuff that hardly anyone would talk about really. Like this one for example. So anyway, I'll give this film an overall rating of a 7.4 out of 10. It's a 7.4 out of 10 for me. As always, thanks for watching, and take care. Until next time, see ya. Oh yeah.